Hi, and welcome to Rainy Dewey's Art Spot. If you haven't been here before, welcome. If you've hung in and you're back, thank you so much for waiting. I've been away for a while, working on some fun and whimsical items for my new website. Back in the day, many years ago, when I was in high school, I always did whimsical art, bugs and mushrooms and stuff like that. So I decided to take a break from the realistic stuff and just relax a little bit with it. And what ended up happening is my son, he runs his own business, JEG Design, and he set me up with this Shopify website. And the beautiful thing about it is you can partner with some print houses to make your art into something functional. So what I've done here is taking some of my whimsical images and putting them on products. So I wanted to show you the start to finish process. What I typically do, of course, you have to come up with an idea. Some of my ideas are old, and then I'm embellishing a little bit, from my years of experience in adding other elements. So I'm using a Bristol paper. It's a manufactured paper, very smooth, and the nice thing about it is when you do a scan of this image, you don't get the texture of the paper because it's very smooth. If I painted this on watercolor paper, cold press Arches paper, that is the paper I typically use, the scanner would pick up the texture, and it's difficult to get it completely removed when you upload it and try to put it on a product. You'll see at the end I'm putting this image on a coffee mug. And so I start with the Bristol paper. I do a light sketch on the paper. I use a 2H pencil with a very light hand. And that way, once I get the drawing all squared away and finalized, I go in with it's a waterproof Micron pen and to outline the image. And that's the one I found most reliable, not to smudge or smear when you add water to it, as I'm doing here. So in this piece, I've actually moved slowly. I'm trying to be slow and careful. I know I find a lot of times when I'm painting, I rush through the process, and when you use watercolor, whether you're doing a realistic work or a whimsical work here, you need to work with the timing that watercolor demands. So if you're doing a wash and you lay in a color, as I'm doing here, when it's at a certain stage of the drying process, you can add another color to darken or give accents. It's called charging. I'm adding a little bit of the lines and details in these Black Eyed Susans, and that's because the paint is still wet, and the nice part about it is you have some control, but there's an element to watercolor that makes it quite exciting. It will do its own thing, and you can control it to a point, but there's this spontaneity with watercolor that it's really gotten me hooked. It got me hooked, and it also has me frustrated. So if I can say anything about watercolor, is to be patient when you're going through the process of doing wet washes and so forth. So here now these are Black Eyed Susans, and you notice I'm putting a base of orange down. Now the reason I'm doing that is if I just put brown on there for the center of the flower, it doesn't have the same glow as if that it will have when I add a base underneath. So I love this this pot. It's oh, I can't remember the name of the orange paint that I use, but if you want to know what it is, you can text me or leave a comment, and I will run it down. So I'm going to lay in an orange base. Here I'm using the yellow. Either one will give you that glow. So when I go to add in the dark centers, it's going to have a more complex color dynamic than if I just added brown centers. And that technique is called glazing. So what I'll do is I'll do all these base coats, and then I'll let them dry completely, and then I'll do a clear water wash, and then I'll add the darks, the dark browns, and you'll see that it's got a very beautiful glow to it that it wouldn't have if I didn't take the time to do those 2 steps, or sometimes 3 steps. I'm trying to be very purposeful doing this piece because I want it to I want it to be successful, and I know that if I hurry through it, I'm going to paint outside the lines, which I can correct in one of the electronic programs, but I'd rather not have to do corrections if possible. So I work through the piece just slowly and purposefully, and I know it's a bit of a yawner, but this is real time. The whole process took me quite a few hours over a few days, and I would say that it's worth the wait, taking the time, doing the planning. You'll be much happier with the end result if you do that. Here you see I'm adding the dark centers, and if I had have given you a comparison, trust me, it's much more lively doing the underbase of a yellow or orange and then going over it. Now I went over it with burnt sienna, and then down near the base of the bud, I'm actually adding a dark purple just to give it some value, contrast. And so that was done all at the same time when I laid in that initial brown, so it was still wet, and I added a dark color. It's called charging. And so here I made some more progress. I decided I would spare you the hours and hours of painting that I did on it, but here's how it just evolves. Now I carefully chose my colors. I wanted to have a limited palette, so it's really red, orange, and yellow primarily, and little pops of blue for my bluebirds, but I wanted to have color dominance in the red, yellow, and orange. And here it is as an actual functional product. It's kind of cool to see it as a coffee mug. These coffee mugs, you can have them printed with whatever color you want on the inside and on the handle. And I was very excited about these products. So anyway, I know, shameless self-promotion, but I wanted to share it with you now. The company that I use, that I'm connected with, it's a print-on-demand product, so you'll have to check it out. If you have products of your own or of your own that you wanted to put on products, you can also send me or leave a comment if you want more information on that whole process. So I was delighted when this came in the mail, and there it is, available with yellow in the inside and red and blue. There are other colors available, but those are the 3 that I'm featuring. I wanted to thank you if you came all the way through the video. I appreciate your watching. Leave a comment, and thank you.